Hi there, welcome to episode 3 for ICT practical series based on KNEC Past Papers. In today's video, we're diving into Microsoft Access and we're going to build a full database system for managing patient admissions. So whether you are opening Microsoft Access for the first time or you've tried it before, this tutorial is for you. Simple and real, no stress. So let's begin by reading what the exam is asking us to do. So open a database program and create a database file named patients admission. So first of all, a database is one file that contains all your data, tables, forms, queries, reports, everything. And for access, because of different types of database like MySQL, among others, in our case, you're going to use Microsoft Access, a program that helps you to create databases. We are going to save ours as patient admissions with an extension .accdb. So let's do so. Go to File, All Programs. Then from All Program, we go to Microsoft Access. We type it here, Access. Select it. Then from there, you go to New, blank.database. Type the name as Patients Admissions. Then this is our location, Documents. You can change the location by clicking here and saving somewhere else. Like in our question paper, we are supposed to save in NEC exam folder. Then from there, you click OK. And then you click Create. And your database will be created with one table by default. You don't need this one, you can close it. So that's how you do it. Let us continue with the question. We have been told that create the following tables in a database file created above using specified field properties and save the tables as patients, admission, and diagnostic respectively. So what is a table? A table is just like a container for data. Each table holds records about one subject. So we're going to have one table for patients, another one for admissions, and one for diagnosis. Each table should be having a column or also known as fields like name, we have birth, name, date of birth, and each table also has got row records, also known as rows, like one row per patient or admission. Now, what is a field? A field is just one type of data in a table. For example, in patient table, we have patient name, patient ID, date of birth, and town. And all of these are fields. Again, in each case, there is data type. A data type tells Access what kind of information is stored in a field. For example, we have short text for names and towns, date/time for dates, currency for money, and number for IDs. And again, to check the other table, we've been told, okay, not told, but we have another keyword we need to learn about, primary key. A primary key is a special field that uniquely identifies each record. Like no two records can have the same primary key. For example, patient ID can be the primary key in the patient's table. Then before we continue, there's another time we need to know foreign key. A foreign key is a field in one table that refers to the primary key in another table, and it helps in connecting the tables together. We shall use that concept in this question here, create appropriate relationship between the tables. In fact, a relationship is just like linking tables together so that they can share and combine data. Now, let's commence. We're going to create patients table. How do we do that? We go to Create tab. Where is the Create tab? Then from there, we click Table Design. Then after clicking Table Design, here we can type, remember we are typing patient's data, patient ID. We also have patient name. We also have D or B and town. The data type of ID, as you can see from this question paper, patient ID AB3021, combination of text and numbers. This is alphanumeric. Therefore, we set it as short text. Patient name is also a text. D or B should be date or time. Town is also text. Like we said, patient ID will be the primary key here. It uniquely identifies each record. And we save this table as, what's the name of this one? Is patients. Then you click OK. Close the table. Again, create patients admission. Go to, is it patients admission? Let's check. Admissions table, yes. Go to create, table design, and which columns can we see here? We have admission ID. We also have patient ID. What else? We have DAG ID, admin date, and discharge date. That's what we're going to have here. Admission ID. Sorry, this is patient ID, admission ID, diagnosis ID, admission date, and discharge date. Patient ID, let us check a sample of these tables about admissions. You can see admission ID is alphanumeric, therefore data type here will be short text. Patient ID was short text from the other table. Diagnosis ID, let us check it. It is still alphanumeric, therefore it will still be short text, and discharge admission date will be date time. Discharge date will be date time. Then the primary key here will be, let us check it again. The primary key here will be admission ID, who's not patient. As you can see, we have duplicate record of the patient, like this patient here, AB3025, AB3025. So this one cannot be the primary key. Likewise, diagnosis ID cannot be primary key. Here we have D001, another D001 here. So admission ID, right click, set it as primary key, save this one as admissions. And if you check from your question paper, you'll find that admission ID is the first one. So you can swap the two fields. The admission ID is the first one here. Close. Save changes. And then we have another table by name, diagnostic table with diagnosis ID, description, and cost. Diagnosis ID is a text, description text, and cost currency. Therefore, create table design, YAG ID, description, and cost. This is currency, description text, and this one text. Primary key, diagnosis ID. Save it as diagnosis. Save. And by doing this, we will have answered question A Roman 2. Let us go to question A Roman 2, 3. Create an appropriate relationship between the tables. Let's talk about relationships. A relationship links tables together using keys or fields so they can share and combine data. While linking these tables, we'll meet a term like So what is referential integrity? This is a rule you turn on so that you cannot enter an admission number for patient that does not exist, and you cannot assign a diagnosis that has not been created. In other words, it protects your data. Now let us see how this one is done. Go to database tools. Here is it. Then select relationships. Double click each field, each table, and add it there. In case you add a table twice like this one, you can just right click the table and hide it like that. Space the tables very well so that you can find it easy to link them. So we are going to check. We have admission ID here. We have patient ID here and we have patient ID here. So drag and let the two be connected and then enforce referential integrity and then create. Again, we have diagnosis ID here and another one here. Link the two. Enforce referential integrity and then connect. We don't have any other link, so we close by saving. And that is how you create relationship. Then you'll be told create a form named form admin that could be used to enter data in admissions table. How do we do this? A form is just a user-friendly way to enter data instead of typing directly into table. Therefore, to create a form, go to create, then form wizard, then choose admission table from this list, then add all the fields, then click next, then you can choose columnar or any of these, then next, save your form as FRM admin. Then from there you finish and your form is ready to be used to capture data. Now you can use this form to enter data on all admission records. So enter the following data into their respective tables. Here is it. So how do we enter data? So here is the admission. If we try to enter data direct, for example, let me start with admissions. Let me start with admission. So we have admission ID. What is the admission ID of the first person? AD 4001. Then we have admission. This is patient ID, sorry. Patient ID here is AB3027. Then we have admission ID is equals to AD4001. Diagnosis ID is D004. And then admission date is 02/03/2020. Discharge date is equals to 09/03/2020. If I click next, I may get an error like this. You cannot add or change a record because a related record is required in table diagnosis. So that means I can't fill the data anyhowly. I have to start with diagnosis. Then after diagnosis, I go to patients, fill data in this table. Then after that, I can now go to admission. So in other words, fill the main tables first of all before filling the table which gets data from the other tables. So I'm going to pause the video to give you time to type this data, start with diagnosis, followed by patients, and then admission, and then we continue. What next? After data entry, the next quiz is about creation of a query. So what's a query? A query is like a question you ask your database. In this case, create a query that would display the fields, patient name, admission ID, admission date, description, and course for all the patients admitted between the months of August 2020 and December 2020. Save this query as admin query. So how do you do this? Go to create, then query design. Then add these tables, admission, diagnosis, patients, and then you close. Then from there, add these fields as required by the examiner. Patient name, you can get it here. Admission ID, you can get it here. Admission date, you can get it here. Description, you can get it here. And cost, you can get it here. After this, let me run this query. And this is what we shall get as result. But now this query should be under this condition. So under admission date here, where admission date and criteria intersect, we're going to type the condition here. And this is the condition between, then we type August, 1st August 2020 and 31st December 2020. That's all. That is the criteria you're going to type there. And if you click outside that box, it will be formatted. We can see now it is hashtag 1st August, hashtag December. So once we run this query, we will get only 3 patients. So this query should be saved as admin query. And then click OK. That's how we create queries. The other question is, create a query showing patient name, admission date, description, cost, and discharge date. Save the query as disk query. To do this, we go to create, new query design, add these tables, close. Now, according to the question, we need patient name. Here is our patient name. We also need admission date. We also need description. We also need the cost and the discharge date. No filter is required for this query. It's only saving. So I'm going to run it and then save the query as required. And then click OK. And it is as simple as that. Question D, create a report for this query created above and save the report as this report. So to do this, what's a report? First of all, a report is used to display results from a query in a neat format for printing. So to do this, we go to create, then report wizard, then choose the query. In topic, it is this query, and then add all the fields. Then next, you can choose how do you want to view. You can just keep this. You can also skip this one. There's no need of sorting. Then you can choose any type of these reports, stepped, blocked, outline, any of them is okay. Then orientation, I prefer using landscape, but still portrait is okay. Then click next. The report should be named as this, like that. Then finish. Now, our report is complete, but you'll notice that some of the fields are not visible. So to do this, to make them visible, you go to Layout View. Admission date is not visible. Enlarge the heading like that. You can also return it back like this. Again, this is another one. The other one is cost. You can see there's another field which is hidden. So cost and its values. Then I drag it. I want to take it here like that. Then there's another one here. I don't know what is this. Let me enlarge it. Yes, this is discharge date. For cost, again, you can still take it toward the left so that we may create room for discharge date. Yes. Then from there now we can save, open our report in print view. So this report can now be printed as a PDF. The last quiz is print out later each of the following. That is all the three tables, the two queries, and the report. How do we print? You need to open the first table, go to File, Print, you choose Print Preview, make sure everything is seen, is visible as here. If there are some hidden parts, you can change to landscape. Then now print, choose your preferred printer, then click OK. The same applies to diagnosis, patients, admin query, discharge query, and also the report. So in this episode, we have created database from scratch. We have built these three tables. We have also talked about various data types. We have also created relationships. We have entered data using even the form. We have also designed queries to filter data depending on the question. And we have also created a printable report, as you can see from your screen. So you just built your first working database in Microsoft Access. Next, in the next video, we shall be talking about PowerPoint. We shall be solving a PowerPoint task, as you can see from this question paper. See you that time. Goodbye for now.